sorry. Bienvenue tous. You're watching France 24. This is our international press view today with Lara, who's here to tell us all about it. What have you got?
We're beginning with the celebrations in Lebanon. The Arab press is widely commenting the Doha deal signed by Lebanese factions yesterday. It's an unexpected happy ending, or at least so is everyone hoping. So this morning's editorial in Pan-Arab daily Al Hayat says that it's a miracle that the real winner in this is Lebanon. And the writer says it will now take the Lebanese many years to strengthen their political immunity, to get used to living alongside the other and accepting differences. Another good point, the journalist wonders if the Doha success is the symptom of bigger changes going on in the Middle East, and if these could also affect Iraq, Syria and Iran.
Is there a reflection in these articles about how important this is to people in Lebanon?
Well, a lot of the articles are talking about how the Lebanese are now celebrating in the streets and the sort of exultation and outbursts of joy, but others are also more cautious. So in the Daily Star, Lebanese paper, we've got optimism, saying it's maybe the end of a cycle of violence, that the good thing about Doha is that it resurrected a Lebanese agenda. The writer says that now America, Syria and Iran must understand that, and I quote, their time for meddling here has passed. But it also warns that there are pitfalls ahead. The country now has to become a civil state instead of a sectarian state, and so that will be difficult. Also in the Daily Star, interesting piece saying the Beirut Stock Exchange jumped to record heights yesterday. In another Lebanese paper, L'Orient Le Jour, we've got a very cautious editorial wondering if this was really a win-win deal. They say the majority has made some spectacular concessions by giving the opposition and Hezbollah veto power in the government. So cautious optimism. Emirati paper The National writes that Arab problems have finally for once found an Arab solution, and that's a good thing, but it also notes that the question of Hezbollah's arsenal hasn't been solved. And also Swiss daily Le Temps, very wary of the deal despite all the joy going on in the streets, saying it's actually a big win for Hezbollah. So we've got different points of view here according to different papers.
As ever, a very complex scenario from Lebanon. What's next?
Well, as the Lebanese reached a deal, news also came that Syria and Israel were negotiating.
Because it seems like there's a joint kind of synergy going on.
Things are moving around in the Middle East. Well, the Israeli press is commenting this today, the negotiations going on between Israel and Syria. In left-wing daily Haaretz, they mention a recent survey that shows that actually most Israelis are opposed to giving back the Golan Heights to Syria in exchange for peace. 68% of them actually think that they shouldn't. And in right-wing Jerusalem Post, we've also got a report saying many Israelis are worried about the perspective of giving back the Golan.
Okay. Next.
Moving on to another victory, and that's the one of Manchester United, who beat Chelsea yesterday in the Champions League final. The British Times calls it a historic night for Manchester United, and they also say it's a way for the team to mark the anniversary of the Munich disaster. They say that 50 years ago, and I didn't know this, 8 Manchester United players died in a plane crash, and that this is a good way to commemorate positively.
The interesting thing about that is that United were one of the pioneers of this competition back in the 50s, because other teams had won the title in England, refused to enter. So Matt Busby, who was the manager, decided to enter the team. So there's a whole sense of loss when these young players were killed. So obviously, sort of United's sort of story with Europe is quite entwined, really.
It's a terrible story, and I
didn't know about it. The third time they've won it, which is quite good.
Yeah, exactly.
Not as good as Liverpool. They've won it 5 times, but carry on.
In The Guardian, they say that Manchester is second to none as a producer of drama. So they say the game saw outbursts of joy, tears, dancing in the rain, a party that ran until 7:30 in the morning.
When they won it in 1999, they scored twice in the last minute, so it's always drama when United play. And it was a great game as well. Chelsea played very well, though, I must admit. They could have won it. They hit the bar, they hit the post. I mean, it was an amazing game. Did you watch it?
No, sadly. Because I had to wake up early for the press.
That's what I was reading when you came to us earlier. You see a massive shot of all the United players celebrating there in Moscow.
Well, the Keep always has a good front pages.
Sacre uni pour Manchester. Yeah. There we go. Well, great night for Manchester. Lana, thank you very much for that. That was our International Press Review. You're watching France 24. Go celebrate, buy a paper. See you later.